The community of women formed in the comment section is where we reflect, where we have these aha moments, where we give tips and tricks and all of that good stuff. So I'm going to use this top comment to do a deeper dive in some of the other comments that I got yesterday on one of my videos. This woman, D Nice, says, I asked my 79-year-old dad what it was like raising 5 kids. He laughed and said it was easy. He was at work. My mom was the villain because she was there. So these people do understand that going to work is the easy part. Going to work is easy. Raising 5 kids is not just about raising kids. It's managing the home, it's the organization, it's the mental load, it's multitasking the hell out of yourself all day. They know this. They know this. That's the reason why you can be gone for a day, a half a day, a work day, and come back and your house look like a tornado went through it. But let's talk a little bit. Some men's don't want women talking. When we talk and we are giving game to other people, the men have categorized that as gossip. And there's a reason why. But let's look at this comment. It says, it's like when women were punished for being gossips. They weren't gossiping. They were sharing valuable information, and men didn't like that. So they made it a punishable offense. That's why men don't like it when we get along, because we share. And so that is the reason why forever, because men have been in the media, men have been the ones that are writing history and the leadership, all that. They have made it a point to make young versus old be a thing, like go at it. There's always some kind of dysfunction that women are supposedly in, and that's to keep women going at each other so that the younger women won't listen to the older women that have experience. This next person said, if I had $1 for all the times my married friends' husbands gave me the side eye for just being single and in proximity to their wives, LOL, they act like you might rub off on them, causing the wifey to bolt out the door and go into hiding from family life. Seriously, what are these dudes doing or not? As a reminder, men run the media. Men are always in the top leadership position. So whatever information comes out is filtered through them and rubber stamped by them. So they don't really want us talking and saying all these things that might kind of jack up some of the status quo. So this woman says this is the kind of article that women's magazines should have, but don't, because they're all owned by men. The next person says, exactly. They instead try to focus women on attracting and pleasing males. The next person says, but instead you have articles titled 3 Ways to Win Him Back After He Cheated on You. So that's the reason why these women focused forums, like MySpace is a woman's space, targeting women, for women, hearing women's voices. And the times that I do bring in men's voices is simply so we can hear what they're saying and then learn ways to navigate around them, because we need spaces filtered through the brains and experiences and interpretations and opinions and beliefs of women, not so much men, because they're just simply trying to keep us in the status quo. So there was a comment from a guy in one of my previous videos that says, camera phones are this generation's problem. So this person responded, the guy who said camera phones were the problem with this generation was saying that the real problem here is that a-holes aren't able to hide their behavior behind closed doors anymore. He wants abuse and mistreatment to stay hidden. People who argue against transparency and truth always have something to hide. This is precisely that point is precisely the same thing that police argued when it came to body cams and dash cams. They do not want to be held accountable for their behaviors. So keep that in mind. These men are able to stay in their positions when women stay silent and when there's no proof of their behaviors. So that's the reason we must continue to speak. Okay, this is the same woman. She says, good men need to call this stuff out because it's majorly insulting that dudes like this make men seem like helpless babies who are just too stupid to figure out how to pick up a broom. They act like clueless animals who couldn't find their way out of a paper bag. It contributes to the trope of the helpless husband, and it needs to stop. Real men don't want a mommy, they want a team member, but they do stay quiet. They stay silent. Silence is complicity. And even the supposed good men don't want to knock off the status quo. They just don't. Just like there is a thin blue line for a reason. Ms. Q says, this is what I love about the internet and spaces like these. We're expanding our vocabulary, putting new terms to problems that have plagued us for so long. It happens in every generation, of course, but I'm so excited for the specificity we're getting with things like husbandment. Tolerable level of permanent unhappiness. Yes, that tolerable level of permanent unhappiness is just what women were expected to take. We're just supposed to be unhappy, just mostly unhappy as a baseline. But we're saying no more to that. Married single mother, etc., etc. There are so many homosexual. We're talking about that. We're talking about all of these things so that women can put their finger on it when they see it, when they smell it, when they feel it. They say one of the most powerful ways of exorcising a demon is to know its name. Only by knowing the name can you drive the beast out. And that's what we're doing, driving the beast out. Yes. And we will continue to talk. Many of my videos and comments and topics overlap because we're going to keep talking. We're going to keep normalizing speaking on this stuff. Men absolutely hate when women link up. Think about how many times a man has said, stop listening to your hating ass friends when all the friend did was add an opinion to something you shared. I know many women, including myself, who has formed an opinion of a woman based on what a man told them about that woman. So many men act like they hate gossip. They do. They act like they hate gossip. But that's because they want to be able to control the narrative. And they have been able to for the longest time. But thanks to the internet, these social media apps, pictures, all of that, we're able to tell our own story without having the intermediary of going through a male mouth, a male brain to filter out what they deem is acceptable for our ears. And that is going to help us create relationships with each other. And I know men don't like my voice. They don't like spaces like mine. They like to infiltrate my spaces. They like to report me. And that's okay. That's the reason why I wrote a book, Ashy Men Will Make You Fat, a Petty Self-Help Guide. I wrote this book. It's to highlight the effery that they put us through. I give actual examples. I talk about health as far as health, mental, physical, emotional, financial, sexual well-being, all of that put together. I give like little talking points, checkpoints, to do assignments for all of us to be able to stay healthy and remain balanced in these relationships. Being in a relationship it can be healthy, but it has to be balanced. And that's what we have been missing as far as some of these conversations is having balance in these in our relationships, really, and keeping our relationships with our friends, having healthy relationships with our children. Having a healthy relationship with the organization that you work for and not giving your all to those people. Anyways, check us out at bourbonbougieshop.com. Christmas is coming. Y'all might as well just add me to the list because I am a small business owner, a new author. So go ahead and check me out, bourbonbougieshop.com. I'll join the conversation, jump in the comments, let me know what you think, like, comment, share.